Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
I normally do not share private details or incidents of my clients, okay? But I found it necessary to share this one. Now, obviously, I'm not going to share with you the private details, but I'm going to share with you this incident, which is really sad and disturbing, okay? It's really a sad and disturbing incident, and I hope this, after you watch this video, it gives you some insight into life in the Middle East. I just really hope it gives you, okay? Now, for those of you who know or do not know, I help people with jobs, okay, in the Middle East. Now, on the baseline, I do like resume rebranding, interview coaching, job hunt strategy. And yes, I do have a few contacts and connections, okay, in over the years it has built up. Majority of them are in the Middle East. The highest number are in UAE, okay, and I have one or two people here and there in Canada, Europe, and some of them are well-to-do, okay. So once a while people ask me, Loy, can you this snail has been going all these rounds. It has been I saw this snail walking, trying to go in circles, so I just thought, help the snail. Okay, anyway, so what I was saying was, yeah, so I have these contacts and connections, and once a while, out of courtesy, if I feel a guy really has talent, if I feel a guy really has the potential that he can add value, I introduce the person to my contact, or if I know the contact is really looking out for someone worthwhile, okay? But I don't give this as a service for money, because you get people who abuse it, okay? Because remember this much, the employer will see his interests, the employee will see his interest, there's a clash. And then, you know, you might be good friends with someone, but as a businessman, they can be really a rotten person. Or you might be great friends with someone, but as an employee, they are terrible. And there is no assurance that what is good today can be good tomorrow. So I don't want to be in the middle firing line. Oh, Loy, why you introduced me to this guy? He turned out to be this way. And the employee says, you know, this guy is not paying me a salary, Loy, because of you. I've had this in the past, so I don't do it. Okay? So now, this incident that took place was, this guy paid me a sum of money, did his resume, I did his, you know, prepared him for interview skills and everything. Looked like a great guy. I mean, very ambitious, dynamic, great personality. But, you know, he had his family, he had wife, he had children. So he had these responsibilities, and he was very focused. The only thing I couldn't figure out was why people are not offering him jobs. It's such a dynamic, you know, the thought is always, if he's so good, why aren't people knocking on his door, or why isn't he climbing up? And I got the answer to this afterwards. I'll tell you what happened. So after we got everything prepared, I was like, I think I can do something for this guy. Let me try to figure out where I can place him. I liked him. I thought he was great, aggressive, dynamic. So one of my friends, he has, you know, group of companies. So I just casually put in the word and I asked him, do you have, any vacancy for a person like this? And he's like, why, Loy? You recommend him? I said, yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty smart. He's very intelligent, very aggressive. You know, he can really do the job. So I told him he's the type of person I would recommend. So my contact who respects me, he said, okay, fine, Loy, why not? So on my recommendation, he took his interview. On my recommendation, he decided, I'll give this young man a chance. Okay, so he gave him the opportunity. And my contacts always, they're good guys. Okay, they pay salaries on time. They'll give you a visa. They'll not try any funny business. However, just after a few days, I think around the second week, I got a message from my friend, and he said, "Loy, I just want you to know one thing." I said, "Yeah, what?" He said, "I want you to know that you're this candidate who you recommended. I'll be terminating him." So I was like, "Huh? What happened?" And I'll tell you why it was a bad thing, because this guy had a job. He had a job before, and he resigned from the job to join this job. Okay, so I was like, man, listen, he resigned from that job to join your job, and I'm also involved in it because I convinced him to do that. Means, not convinced him to leave the job. He wanted to leave the job, but I'm also involved in this. He said, "Loy, I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you why I'm removing him." I said, "Is he not good at his job or what?" He said, "No, he's good. He's aggressive. He's smart. He's intelligent. But he did something which I'm not very happy about." So I said, "What did he do?" This guy, he, after getting his job, after signing the dotted line, getting the confirmation, okay, they're putting the papers for visa. This guy writes a scathing letter. He writes a scathing letter to the old employer from a hidden email, okay? He hidden email address, give him bad words and this and that, and I think he also had a phone call. I'm not too sure whether it's true or false, but he gave a phone call from not traceable number. He abused the owner. Told him, "Fuck you, I got a better job. You motherfucker, you think you're this, that, whatever." Somehow the owner was able to track it down to this guy. I don't know how. What did he do? See, these big guys, they have the resources, okay? So he was able to track him, and he was able to figure out where this guy is going to get a job. And straight away he wrote a letter to this big guy. See, because these guys are connected here. He called up this guy, and okay, the previous company, the owner is not a very nice guy, but he's very successful. He called up this guy and said, "This is what the guy did. Do you want to take a guy who abuses the previous employer?" Now, I agreed that the previous employer is not a very maybe ethical guy or nice guy or whatever. But this other contact, he told me, "Loy, I'm sorry, but I don't want a cowboy. I don't need drama. I don't need a guy who's so aggressive and hot-blooded that tomorrow, if things don't work out, he will publicly name me, shame me, and do all that shit." So I regretfully have to tell you that I'm going to cancel his papers. I'm not going to take him. So I just thought I'll let you know before I actually do it. And I was like, you need to do what you need to do. And fine. And as expected, I had to tell this guy. But I decided let him first communicate and then let this guy get in touch with him. And then the guy called me, and he was completely, angry, in shambles, upset, worried, so many things. Yeah, obviously, he was denying that he did all this. But I told him, "Listen, man, there's nothing I can do." Now, why am I sharing this with you is because it's not only him, it's his wife, it's his children, it's the people back home who are depending on him. Everyone now has to suffer. Everybody has to suffer. And I'll tell you, it's when you go through a setback like this, now, it pushes you many, many steps behind. I mean, why the fuck you guys do that, yeah? Why do you fucking do that? It upsets me because one way, this is my client. Second one is, it was my contact. So from both the sides, I got fucked. Now do you understand why I don't want to fucking give anyone a guaranteed job or put them, give them, because I don't want to take all this shit, yeah. And on top of that, I really feel bad for him. I really do, because he kind of reminds me of when I was young, I was also stupid like this. Why the fuck? It's not your country. You're just a expatriate. You're just an immigrant. You're just there for time being. Why do you want to fucking complicate things? And I'll tell you now, if he goes to any other company in the world, and if they follow up with the previous employer, the guy is going to destroy his career. He is going to give them a very bad feedback. If he finds out which company is, maybe he will do anything to ensure this guy loses his job. My request is, don't fuck up your life here. Don't try all these stunts. Be careful what you post online. Be careful what you share online. Be careful who you argue with. Be careful. In today's day and age, this WhatsApp calls, Skype calls, you will not believe, people just randomly call me up without even fucking knowing who I am, without even booking a session, and they want to call me as if I'm their friend. Come on. And then some of them send me rude messages, bad words and stuff. In this day and age, don't do all that shit. Be careful what you post online. There are people who have lost their jobs because they took a photograph of them in a nightclub with a girl or with a guy. Maybe they were not doing anything, but this itself can land you in deep trouble with the HR. So my request to you is, please don't fuck up your chances. You're there to earn a job, to get money. And it's unfortunate that this young man's career, 2020 is going to be fucked. I don't know what is he going to do, but he's in deep shit. So my request to you is, please, whoever you are, please stop using Facebook, stop using social media, stop using WhatsApp, especially if you're searching for a job, or especially if you're in a job which is, where you have nosy office colleagues or relatives and all that. Stay away from it. Focus on your work. Focus on making money. And don't get into all this shit. I know plenty of stories, but I just thought, since this just happened a few days ago, anyway guys, this is what I have to say. Let me know your thoughts, your comments down below. I always read them. So take care.